Hello everyone and welcome to another News Coolum video. So, normally I would have wanted to do a loop with the Kia EV6, but I don't know that I necessarily have the time for it. And I've been able to test out a number of different chargers. I'll probably do a little bit more testing before I finally turn the car back in, but I figured why not just go ahead and do a 1,000-kilometer, 621.4 mile run in this as well, right? I did it in the 2022 Chevrolet Bolt EV, and just kind of give an idea of how good this Kia EV6 is at road tripping. I made some assumptions about the 2022 Bolt EV that turned out to not be true. So you really only get the real picture when you actually test it, right? And you really flog it. I'm here at semi-local Walmart, Electrify America. I actually have to do some shopping right now to pick up some stuff, so I'm going to load up the back with some non-perishable goods, hopefully not too heavy, but just get all that shopping done while I'm charging up to 100%, which I don't really recommend doing on DC fast chargers, but the Kia EV6 does a pretty good job of that, and I think they estimated 40 minutes to 100%, which means we should be leaving no later than probably 10:15 or 10:30, which is actually about the same time that I left with the Chevy Bolt EV. I'm choosing this location because I actually haven't been charging this car at home. This EV6 has just been sitting out on the driveway, so the entire time I've had it, basically it's all been just DC fast charging. So, but also this is Monday, Memorial Day, and this is a big travel day. And so this could be, show some more warts just in terms of the public charging infrastructure. I-5, Interstate 5, the main sort of corridor between the Bay Area and Southern California, is still underserved. Charge points chargers are all 50 kilowatt. There are some free wire chargers, but they're very hit or miss, and like the one I tested in Corning wasn't even working. So it really is still Electrify America, and Electrify America is becoming sort of the focal point for people who are traveling. So even if there maybe are better chargers or alternative chargers, people are still laser focused on using the Electrify America sites. And for better or worse, that's going to lead to site crowding until people realize that there may be better options for them. Well, we're at 98% now. It's almost 10:10, so they're saying 4 minutes to 100%. So let's target getting out of here at about 10:15. The charger's already starting to get filled up, and there's a Ioniq 5 pulling in. There's an Audi e-tron over here. The Porsche Taycan has already left. But again, this is Memorial Day weekend, which is why I'm thinking, we're gonna be pretty busy. So yeah, we're at 99% right now, charging at 15 kilowatts. So let's get ready to head out. We're here in Firebaugh. I decided to make a short stop here. I'm glad I did. And the thing is, it went from practically empty to practically full. And when I arrived, there were 3 chargers taken, and 2 of them were the 350 kilowatt chargers. So I ended up actually having to hook up to the 150 kilowatt CHAdeMO charger. I didn't realize it was the CHAdeMO only until I plugged in. We're at 80% already after... I'd have to check on how long the session is. I barely got my food and I'm getting ready to leave again, because now we're finally starting to taper. It's down to about 110 kilowatt, where it was charging at about 130 to 140, basically just flat all the way up to 80%. I'm basically ready to get going and head out. So yeah, I guess I'll have to eat my meal at the next stop or whatever. Well, we're back at Firebow. It just made the most sense as a stop, but this time I got one of the 350 kilowatt chargers. Not a big fan of how it's oriented, especially given how you have to back in with the Kia EV6. But anyway, I plugged in at like 23%, shot right up over 200 kilowatts. So significantly faster, at least 30% faster than using a 150 kilowatt charger. Hopefully this gives me enough time to eat, but we've already gone 410 miles. It's very possible if I want to just make this a single stop to 80, 85%, even 90%, right? It's pretty possible that I could just go the rest of the 621.4 miles without needing another stop. And now it will only makes sense to do that if that sort of coincides with another charging stop, because I'll still need to get home or whatever. But that's still impressive to be able to do 621.4 miles at 70 to 75 mile an hour freeway speed on 2 charges, and on 2 less than 30-minute charges. Now, the other thing is, too, the driving time hasn't been great. If you do the math, you'll see that even if you discount the, say, 30 minutes for charging before, I'd have to go back and check exactly how much it was. We're only averaging maybe 63, 64, 65 miles an hour driving speed, and that's because of a couple of slowdowns that'll probably end up adding 20 to 30 minutes of driving time total between all of the accidents and slowdowns. So, I mean, I might need to, add that in as a correction. But anyway, like I said, we're charging pretty quick. I don't even want to turn the car on for right now, probably in about 5 to 10 minutes, just because it could actually, well, it shouldn't reduce the charging speed unless I'm using the climate, which I might want to do though, because it is still pretty warm. But yeah, so we're charging. It's already at 40%, and we only have 10 minutes to go to 80%. So I need to rush to eat my food, and it's 213 kilowatts. Yeeps. All right, well, change of plans. I ate my food, but we're going to be at 80% in like 2 minutes. We're already down to about 150 kilowatt. So I actually think I'm just going to jam it into use the bathroom and leave at 80%, because anything short, I'm going to fall short. So I think we're just going to plan to stop in Dunnigan, maybe for 5 minutes, and then finish the trip. Let's get ready to head out. as you can see, this is not done again. This is Sacramento. As expected, the efficiency started to drop with that headwind, crosswind coming north. So it's down to like 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. But we're actually already done. These are only 150 kilowatt chargers here at Sacramento International Airport. So they're a little bit slower. But this place has a bathroom, which I kind of haven't had the chance to use since we started this. So let's just button this up and get going. Too long. All right, so here we are, 621.2. So yeah, it is going to turn right at about 9:05 p.m. So 621.4. So we're just under. So it'd be 10 hours and 49 minutes of uncorrected time. Nonchalant. Yeah. I don't want to say it's a disappointing time, but 10 hours and 49 minutes to go 621.4 miles. But like I said, I feel like there's a little bit more to that. So I just wanted to go over the 3 charging sessions that I did to complete this trip. The first one, I went from 15 to 88%. So I guess that was kind of a waste because I didn't need that extra 8%, with a total time of 30 minutes, basically 29 minutes and 17 seconds. The second one was adding 50 kilowatt hour, and that was 19 minutes, 18 minutes and 54 seconds. So we're still under an hour of charging. And then, yeah, so right around 1 hour of charging. So the reason I bring that up is I think it's sort of misleading to do these 1,000 kilometer, 621.4 mile tests with just the total time. Because based on what I saw on this trip with the Kia EV6, we lost more time due to traffic and traffic jams and holdups than we did than the amount of time that maybe we spent charging right. If we just say it was about an hour that we spent charging, that means that we spent 9 hours and 50 minutes on the road, just short of 10 hours, which means that to go 621.4 miles, we were only averaging 62 miles an hour on a 70 mile an hour road. So even though I felt the one in the 2022 Bolt EV a lot more because it was 1 hour that we lost all in one section of road, and the rest of the road flowed pretty well and we were able to move quickly, it seems like the slowdowns here were more persistent across the entire route, resulting in possibly a similar amount of time, which means it's very likely that this Kia EV6 Wind rear-wheel drive could do this 621.4 miles in under 10 hours. That's a reasonable estimation. And again, the other thing to think about is my driving speed. I stay within 5 miles an hour of the posted max speed limit. Basically, it's for safety and, just to keep from getting run over, but not to be an obstruction, but also not to go so fast as to be reckless or even CHP, right, wouldn't even pay any attention to me going 75 when there are people literally passing me doing 20, 30, 40 miles an hour faster. So it's a good general rule, right, that 5 mile an hour over the speed limit when possible. But averaging only 62 miles an hour over 600 miles, that's a massive time loss. If you're averaging, like I said, you look at like Bjorn Nieland's times, he's probably 10 miles an hour average driving speed faster. Kyle Connor, I know they did that recent run from Fort Collins down to Vegas. Just looking at how this EV6 rear-wheel drive Wind comported itself, I'm sorry, Kyle, I think I would have been sleeping in the master bedroom. This car did amazingly well because we're also looking at the round-trip efficiency down to about 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour, which is a little bit worse than what I saw in the 2022 Chevrolet Bolt EV. But again, that's a car that's best in class in a class of efficient cars. So this idea that this larger format car is, just a small percentage less efficient, and being able to charge at an average speed of 160, 170, 180 kilowatts all the way up to 80%. Basically, you're looking at being able to drive for 3 hours plus, stop for 20 minutes, and drive for another 3 hours, right? You're talking about well over 200, possibly as much as 250 to 280 miles on a full battery, and 200-ish miles on an 80% charge, which only takes you about 20 minutes to do. And then the other thing is, too, like I said, there's a calculus that I think people need to consider when doing these faster runs is the total amount of time to charge this car, even to full, is ridiculously quick. And the time to get off of a freeway, get to a charger, and access it, the difference in time, you're looking at 5 to 10 minutes. That's a reasonable charging session on a 350 kilowatt charger. And it's really a reason. I spent 12 minutes on a 150 kilowatt charger in Sacramento and added easily 80, 90 miles. So you have to do that calculation, because if staying just a few minutes longer removes a stop completely later on in the trip, it's probably worth it. I feel like there's a need to balance. This is not how I would have traveled normally. And in fact, the way this Kia EV6 is operating, I don't think people need to even feel bad about taking a separate stop that has nothing to do with charging, or charging at a 50 kilowatt charger if it's convenient because it's at a restaurant or something, because you're spending so little time. If all I was doing was fueling as discrete events, right, I could have done this entire trip with about 45 minutes of charging, I think. But that's only if 350 kilowatt chargers were readily available at every stop where I needed to stop. This car did great. So I guess as a data point, 10 hours and 50 minutes, understanding that that's, or 10 hours 49 minutes, understanding that that's an uncorrected time. And I would say a bare minimum of 30 minutes needs to be taken off of that, just based on traffic and based on, just it's Memorial Day. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was helpful, informative, just kind of giving another perspective of taking that type of a trip in this car. Again, this is a rear-wheel drive, so it's not the all-wheel drive that tries to shut off a motor to be more efficient or anything like that. I think the car did great, and we might actually already be done charging on the EVgo. We should get out of here. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and thank you for watching.